stop before you spend a single dollar on a 3D printer. Watch this. If you've been Googling what is the best 3D printer, you probably started to get very confused. You'll see things about a FDM printer versus resin printer. You'll see things about bed slinger versus Core XY. Is it an open frame system or is it enclosed? Some of this may not really matter in helping you make a decision. So when 3D printing first came out, it was a lot of really true hobbyists who got involved in it, who wanted to learn how to 3D print, how to put things together. But nowadays, most of the people buying 3D printers don't want to just learn how to 3D print. They just want to 3D print. They want a printer that works and actually lets you make things. So today what I want to do is go through what I think some of the criterias are in picking your first 3D printer, and then apply those to what I think is possibly a very good choice that meets all these requirements. So let's get into it. The first requirement I think you need to have when you're buying your first 3D printer is you want to have the out-of-the-box experience. Your ability to just open up the box, put a few things on there, screw a couple of screws together, put on the cables, and have it ready and be actually 3D printing within 15 minutes. You don't want to be doing manual adjustments on everything. So a long time ago, I started into 3D printing. I had an Ender 3 Pro, and I was one of those who was learning how to 3D print. You had to get your little feeler guide to make sure the bed was leveled and everything. Well, that's not something you want anymore. And most of these printers nowadays do have auto adjustment, but that is another key part of this is you want something that you can take out of the box and be printing within 30 minutes, and one that'll do all the adjustments that you don't have to worry about the manual adjustments on it. The second thing that you need to consider is the speed and the print quality. These prints usually do take a few hours, and you don't want to spend any more time than you have to on these prints. So you want something that has a good speed to it, nozzle head speed that you can get prints done fast, but still has a good print quality to it. The third thing is that you want to be able to do multicolor printing. And again, most of them today do have that. You're not just going to be printing in black PLA filament. If you're making things for your kids or for other people, you're probably going to be printing in some color. So you want something with a multicolor system that you can use. The fourth thing to consider is the company and the ecosystem that is around that printer. Does the company have a good track record? Has the printers been out for a while? Or is it putting out new ones and they've had issues with it? And then along with that is the ecosystem. Do you have a mobile app for your phone so you can operate it from anywhere? Is there other things available to you with the system? So that's the next consideration. After that comes, I'll put them together, build volume and value. So you look at build volumes, I consider it about three different levels. You have the mini printers, which will have a small footprint on your desk, but again, a small build volume. Then you got the middle of the line ones, which in my shop, they range anywhere from 256 millimeters by 256 by 256 up to 270 by 270 by 270. So they're all relatively the same size, which is a good size for printing most of the things that you can think about. And then you get into the larger type prints where you get over 300 or 350 millimeters of size to it. So you can get the different sizes, but then you got to consider also part of that is the value you're getting. Again, the small one that'll fit in your desktop, you could get for a couple $100s. And then moving up to the next level, $300 to $1,000, depending on what you desire. And then you can go up into the multi-$1,000 type printers. So that's also an area to consider. So based on those criteria, if I was to make a recommendation to you for a first printer to get, my recommendation would be the Bambu A1 printer. And again, I already know it's going to come, that I'm going to get comments about it. Bambu, in recent news, has been a problem for the 3D printing community. And again, I won't get into all the issues, but 3D printing, the community is more an open source, where if you got a slicer program, you can make your own version and put it in. But what Bambu has done is they have kind of closed off their system, and what they call it is for security reasons. Some related to the difference between a Windows PC computer and a Macintosh. It's a closed ecosystem. And then there's concerns about all the files that you're printing are going through their computer system, so they're seeing everything you reach. If there's issues that get you, you may want to look other places. But I would also recommend you to consider looking at a lot of the large print farms, at least in the United States. You'll see banks of Bambu printers. They are very reliable printers. It is a good choice as long as you understand what the concerns of some of the community are. Let's go through our criteria, the out-of-the-box experience. Minimal setup, like I said, you can be printing in 15 minutes. It has all the auto bed leveling system, so all you do is hit it and it'll go through that whole process for you and start printing. Speed and quality. Bambu printers were actually the first one that really increased the speed of the printing. Now a lot of them are very comparable in speed to it. And the print quality, it's a good print quality for the price. Again, if you're looking for the highest print quality, you can adjust your settings to increase your print quality, or you can go to a high level printer. Multicolor printing. The A1 comes with the AMS light. The P1Ss and X1Ds and all those comes with a regular AMS, but this has an AMS light, allows you to do 4-color printing, and it also has things like filament backup, where you can put 2 rolls. If you're printing something in one color and you've got a little bit left in the roll that's probably not going to make it, you can put a second roll on there of that same color, and it'll automatically switch. It has the technology to switch between the colors. The next thing is the company. We've talked about the issues, but again, it's been on the market. It's a very good printer. A lot of people have it, and the ecosystem that comes with it is excellent. Like you said, you have the mobile app, the Bambu Handy, the slicer. When you look at slicer programs today, they all come off the same branch. You get the Orca slicer, the Prusa slicer, Bambu's slicer. They're all about the same. So you can switch from one to another. But the Bambu slicer is a very good slicer. And the other thing which really sets it apart is the Maker World app that it has. Now you can go to different websites to find STL files to print, like Thingiverse and printables and everything. But Maker World has a very large selection of prints. And the nice thing about it is that you can download it and take it straight into your slicer and start working with it. You don't have to save it and bring it out and bring it back in. It's very good. And it also has other things like Maker Lab, which allows you to do other things with the print. So if you want to experiment, this is a very good place to start. The next thing is the build volume and the value. So as I talked about 3 different levels, there is also the Bambu A1 Mini, which is the smaller build volume. And then you have the Bambu A1, which you're talking in the range about $350 for a Bambu A1, which is a very good price. And a lot of printers, there are other printers coming out. I've got another one, the Anycubic Cobra X, which just came out, looks very similar. It's a bed slinger, just like the Bambu A1, and it comes in at about the same price. So again, it depends on if you want just a smaller printer or a larger one, but the A1 is a good size and a good value. Now, some things that you also need to consider when you're looking for a printer is what are you going to do? If you're just printing with basic filaments such as PLA and PETG, the Bambu is the excellent printer. If you're thinking about printing with more industrial type filaments such as ASA, ABS, carbon fiber, something that's going to need higher temperatures and it's going to need an enclosure. So that in that case, the A1 would not be the choice. You need to move up to the higher level and look at enclosures. But again, if you're just getting into 3D printing, printing with PLA, PETG, you can do a large assortment of things and create a lot of different products very easily. So I think as a place to start, the A1 is good. So there's my recommendation. If you're looking to get into 3D printing, again, the Bambu A1 is at a good price point. Right now, there are new printers coming out all the time with new capabilities, whether it be bed slingers like the A1, you get enclosures. Now, a new thing is multi-tool head printers, which allows you to print without the waste that you would get on some of the older printers. But again, you're talking at a higher price point, and some of these printers are still working through some bugs on their systems. So if you're looking just to get started and get into the excitement of printing, my recommendation would be to take a look at the Bambu A1. So what do you think? Was this information helpful? Again, if you have some other things that you would consider in a printer, please leave them in the comments below. And also, please leave your comments about your view of the Bambu Labs as a business and their business practice. Put that down there also. Let other people read about that. But again, I believe this is a good starting point, and I hope this was helpful for you. If it is, please help me out by liking and subscribing to my channel. I'll continue to look at some of the other things you can do with 3D printers. As again, I've just been in this a couple of years. I'm still learning. I like trying new things, and I'll continue to put out more videos on some of these topics. So until next time, I'm Rick. Thanks for watching. Take care.